me. Yeah, you can see her ears. Oh, there's her face a little bit. Oh, look. Oh, she has been such a ham lately. And she's becoming a little diva when it comes to YouTube. She wants to be I think she wants to be a famous kitty like Grumpy Cat. But anyway, I am doing good today. Haven't been up that long this morning. Basically just doing stuff to prepare for today's live. And let's see, I see we have Lisa with Coping with Yarn here. Hi, Lisa. How are you doing today? And what are you currently working on? And what's in your coffee cup today? And also, Samantha's here. How are you, Samantha? And what are you working on? And what do you have in your coffee cup? Let me know what type of coffee or if y'all drinking something else. And let's see, do you want to tell everyone hi, Frank? Frank's going to be coming over shortly. Here he is.
And good morning, everyone.
And that was the biscuit. So last night on my live, someone brought up something, wanting to know if I call my subscribers little biscuits. And normally I've always referred to my subscribers as my Yorny friends, but I do think little biscuits is cute. So I'm curious, what do y'all think of little biscuits? And I may do a survey on my community page with some options for what I can call my subscribers. But I know I really like little biscuits. I thought that was so cute. And Laura Lee is here. How are you doing today, Laura Lee? And what are you currently working on? And what do you have in your coffee cup? What type of coffee or are you drinking something else? And I have my coffee cup here. And I have Starbucks Holiday Blend in my coffee cup. And I think it's white mocha coffee creamer that I have. And let's see. Lisa's having fun with my alien emojis. As a member, those that are members of my channel, and Lisa with Coping with Yarn is a channel member. Well, you get special emojis, and those are some of the emojis you get when you're a member. And y'all know I love my aliens. Laura Lee says Yorny biscuits. That one would be cute too. Yeah, I'll probably try to put up a survey later today with some options for names and see what everyone likes. And let's see. Roberta's here. Hi, Roberta. How are you doing today? And what are you working on? And I know you can't have coffee, so I'm going to ask, what do you have in your cup this morning? And Lisa says, I'm drinking coffee with caramel almond milk creamer. Nice. Laura Lee says, black Folgers in my Yeti cup. I haven't started anything yet. I'm too wrapped up in blankets. Yes, get y'all blankets on. I'm doing good today, Samantha. I've been up a couple of hours. I was basically just getting things ready for today's live. Yep, I missed you, Samantha. And Lisa says, oh, and it's Pete's coffee. Nice. So basically today's live, how I'm going to do things is I have 5 trivia questions to do with coffee that I will be asking. And I know not everyone drinks coffee that's going to be in the live. So I also have my typical questions that I tend to ask on lives that really don't have anything to do with coffee. So I will be asking my typical getting to know you type questions. And also, if anyone wants to jump up on the panel with me, I did pin the Restream link at the top of the chat. But again, you do need to have Restream set up, a Restream account, since I'm not on StreamYard. And I know StreamYard's the popular one. And if I had enough StreamYard hours, trust me, I would be using StreamYard. Roberta says, "Thanks for remembering. I'm driving this AM." Yeah, I really need to try to remember everyone that doesn't drink coffee, because I don't want to keep asking people coffee questions if they don't drink coffee. But whenever I ask what type of coffee you drink, and if you're not a coffee drinker, just tell me, what you have in your cup, like if it's water, tea, you know, soft drink, whatever, milk, juice. And Samantha says, "I love your channel." Oh, thank you, Samantha. Lisa says, "I may not be able to answer all of them because I'm getting kids ready and taking to bus stop." That's fine. Let's see. Let's show Allie better. Say good morning, Allie. Tell all your yawny friends good morning. Oh, she's been spoiled to me. She don't want to leave my side. Oh, Frank was snapping, trying to get Allie's attention. I think she's still sleepy though. Yeah, tell everyone good morning. And poor Sophie. You could tell Sophie wants to be around me more, but Allie's keeping her away. But you're blocking the chat, Allie. Sit back down like you were. Don't. Okay, yeah, good girl. She's just looking at me. Okay, so anyway, let me ask the first trivia question. About how many coffee beans does it take to produce 1 pound of roasted coffee? And your options are A, 1,000, B, 2,000, C, 3,000, or D, 4,000. And again, the question is about how many coffee beans does it take to produce 1 pound of roasted coffee? And your options are A, 1,000, B, 2,000, C, 3,000, or D, 4,000. And let's see. Lisa saying, "Oh, Alley Cat, my baby." Yeah, she slept with me last night. She either goes on my back or she goes like right in my face on my pillow. Laura Lee says she doesn't look very awake. No, she really isn't, because she's been sleeping in the bed, and like all of a sudden she realizes I'm no longer there, and then she comes hunt me down. Let's see, we have Julie that joined us, and Lisa the Grammy. How are y'all doing today? And what are y'all working on? And what type of coffee do y'all have in y'all coffee cup? And if y'all don't drink coffee, just let me know what y'all are drinking. And let's see. Sharon also joined us too. How are you doing? And what are you working on? And what's in your coffee cup? What type of coffee? How do you take your coffee, basically? And if you don't drink coffee, then let me know what you're drinking. And we also have Sue that joined us. Same question, Sue. How are you doing today? What are you currently working on? And what type of coffee you have in your coffee cup? And let's see. And I did just ask a trivia question for those that it's just joining us. I don't know if y'all heard the question, but it's how many coffee beans does it take to produce 1 pound of roasted coffee. And your choices are A, 1,000, B, 2,000, C, 3,000, D, 4,000. And let's see. Lisa's saying 1,000. Julie's saying 3,000. Samantha says 1,000. Laura Lee says 3,000. And I think Lisa the Grammy means 3,000. And Samantha says nothing right now. Julie says Folgers in my cup, housework today, and then squares. Nice. And Lisa says getting dressed. It is snowing. Ooh, snow. Yeah, it's not likely for us to get snow this winter. Let's see. We also have Christy that joined us. How are you doing today, Christy? And what are you working on? And what type of coffee do you have in your cup, your coffee cup, or are you drinking something else today? And Sue says, I drink donut shop coffee with creamer, and I'm working on dishcloths. Nice. Okay, Lisa says 1,000. Oh, we also have Sarah here. How are you doing today, Sarah? And what are you working on? And what type of coffee do you have in your coffee cup? Or what are you drinking? Sarah says 1,000. And Evan, my son, says it's snowing and then looks outside laughing out loud. Let's see. Sarah says 3 double espresso shots with hot chocolate and getting ready for a job interview. So not working my hook right now. Ooh, well, good luck on your job interview. I hope you get the job. Christy says, doing well, working on a prayer shawl. Have Folgers with Snickers creamer. Ooh, Snickers creamer. I love Snickers. Like, I love the ice cream. I love the Snickers bar. Pretty much anything Snickers, I love. Okay. Sue says 1,000. And Sharon says, working on a tip scales doll blanket. Nice. Okay. I will say this. No one has gotten this question right yet. The answer is 4,000 D. And the question was about how many coffee beans does it take to produce 1 pound of roasted coffee? It takes 4,000. So my next question for y'all is, how long does it take for a coffee tree to reach maturity? And your choices are A, 8 years, B, 2 years, C, 5 years, and D, 3 years. And again, the question is, how long does it take for a coffee tree to reach maturity? And the choices are A, 8 years, B, 2 years, C, 5 years, and D, 3 years. And let's see, we have Deneen that joined us. Hi, Deneen. How are you doing today? And what are you currently working on? And what type of coffee do you have in your coffee cup? Or if you're drinking something else, let me know what you're drinking. Sarah says her spouse told her 4,000. Yep, 4,000. Okay, and let's see. Oops. Hold up just a second. I'm dropping things here. Okay. So Deneen is saying 5 years. Christy says 8. Samantha says 5. Laura Lee says 5. Lisa and Sharon say 5. Lisa with Coping with Yarn says her kids say 8 years. Julie says 3 years. Give it a little more time to let everyone else answer. I need a bigger desk. But yeah, I was looking up coffee questions this morning, and it's fascinating some of the facts about coffee. So each time I do my coffee with Connie live, I'm going to ask about 5 trivia questions to do with coffee. Go with the coffee theme. And how do y'all like my green screen today with a cup of coffee? And as y'all notice, I got my green screen working today because last week I couldn't remember how to do it in Restream. And I was playing around with it like for 30 minutes. And I barely even got myself the camera working. But what I did wrong last time was I didn't change the camera to OBS. So that messed everything up. But I at least was able to go live last week because I was worried because I couldn't like my camera wasn't showing at all. And finally I got that showing and I had to use the actual green screen for the background. Just a solid green. Lisa loves the screen. Thank you. Yeah, I plan to go with coffee backgrounds. But like one thing though I do like about with the Restream though, because I can like move myself over where my background image can be seen better. Like especially if it's on one side of the screen. That's one thing I do like about Restream. Where with StreamYard, I can't really move things. Everyone's loving the coffee picture. Okay. So the answer was 5 years for how long it takes for a coffee tree to reach maturity. 5 years. So most of y'all got it right. Yay. So the next question is, how many pounds of coffee beans will a typical coffee tree produce in an annual crop? And your choices are A, 5 pounds, B, half a pound, C, 2 pounds, and D, 1 pound. And again, how many pounds of coffee beans will a typical coffee tree produce in an annual crop? And your choices are A, 5 pounds, B, half a pound, C, 2 pounds, and D, 1 pound. So that's your choices. But yesterday I was working on my knitted sock, and I'm hoping I get that sock finished today, the first sock. Hopefully. It'll be close because I don't have that much of the foot left to do, and then I start the toe decreases. And toe decreases aren't that many rows, so I don't know. And maybe I'll even start the second sock if I'm lucky. And then I still need to do my row of my temperature blanket today too. So tell everyone how you're mean to Sophie. Yes, you mean to Sophie. You need to learn to get along with Sophie. Okay, let's see. Samantha says 5 pounds. Coping says 2 pounds. Christy says 5 pounds. Let's give it a little more time to see if anyone else answers. Christy says, I need to catch up on my temperature blanket. Yeah, that's the one thing with temperature blankets. Sometimes it is easy to get behind on them. And you really have to like I try my best to make sure like I keep up with it and I don't fall too far behind. Okay. Deneen missed the question. Let me get it. how many pounds of coffee beans will a typical coffee tree produce in an annual crop? And your choices are A, 5 pounds, B, half a pound, C, 2 pounds, and D, 1 pound. Samantha's still working on her scraps blanket also. Yeah, eventually I need to go back to my peppermint blanket. It's like, I don't know, that blanket just has taken me forever. And I'm hoping once I go back to it, I'll be motivated on it again. But I don't know if it's the fact that it just feels so repetitious, or I don't know, maybe. And I also find doing the little like circular peppermints, that's more time consuming to crochet like that than it does to, like, crochet your straight rows. And let's see. Sarah says, I am working with thread, so I should probably start combining these motifs to make it look like I'm getting somewhere. Nice. Okay, Lisa says 2 pounds. Yeah. And then I got to figure out like what else I'm going to be working on down the road too. I know my next knitting project, I want to try to do a pair of gloves for Frank, which will be interesting because I've never made mittens. I've never made fingerless gloves. I just dive right into gloves. And let's see, Carol's here. Hi, Carol. How are you doing today? What are you currently working on? And what type of coffee do you have in your coffee cup? Or are you drinking something else today? And Crystal is here too. How are you doing today, Crystal? And the same questions. And for those that just joined in, the trivia question that I asked was, how many pounds of coffee beans will a typical coffee tree produce in an annual crop? And your choices are A, 5 pounds, B, half a pound, C, 2 pounds, or D, 1 pound. Sarah says sometimes diving into a project is the best. And really, that is true, because I find what happens is you learn more. Like when you dive into stuff, that's how you really learn. Or at least I find that's how I learn. um, I like challenging myself. Crystal says she's just waking up. And let's see. Okay. But yeah, now crochet, after I finish this Bonnie Bay shawl that I'm working on, I want to do my first virus shawl. I've never made a virus shawl before. I've never done the virus stitch, so this will be something new to me. But I love the virus stitch. I think it's so beautiful. And I also need to figure out what yarn I'll use. I'm cold today. And it's 52 degrees. Let's see. Spring joined us. How are you doing today, Spring? What are you currently working on? And what type of coffee do you have in your coffee cup? And I know you drink coffee, so I know, but normally I'll say, if you're not a coffee drinker, what are you drinking? And let's see. Spring says, not sure, but I need an orchard. Orchard. I'm getting tongue tied. And Sarah says, I made 2 caplets and learned new stitches to create, both in testing. Woohooey. And Sarah says that I will love the virus. Awesome. And one thing too, y'all have to remember, I've only been crocheting, let's see, September made a year. So I think about a year and 4 months. So there's still a lot of things that are common things to do in crochet that I may not have gotten to yet. Crystal says, it's hazelnut coffee in my cup with caramel macchiato, however it's spelled, creamer. Christy says it's 18 degrees there. Crystal says 5 pounds. Carol says, I've got Peruvian home roasted coffee in my cup. Ooh, I'm working on the base chain for a scarf that I'm starting over. I think a coffee bean tree produces about 1 pound of beans per season. And you know what? You would be correct, Carol. The answer is 1 pound. It was a D, 1 pound. And Laura Lee says, it's 3 above right now. I'll trade you. Oh, y'all too cold. And let's see. Proverbs 31 Eunice here. And I think your name is Jeannie. Correct me if I'm wrong. But how are you doing today? And what are you working on? And what type of coffee do you have in your cup? And if you don't drink coffee, then what are you drinking? Spring says strong coffee and drying out. Okay, yeah, it is Jeannie. Okay. I thought it was. And Sarah says, I did a short video of the virus shawls I have made. If you have any questions, I can always help. Okay, awesome. Hopefully it's not that hard of a stitch to learn. Yeah. Lisa is lurking and working, or working and lurking, I guess I should say. What time did I go to bed last night? It was about 10:30ish. I probably didn't fall asleep till about 11. Spring says, "Yep, see, I need a whole orchard." And Lisa says it's almost 7:30 here with 20 degrees out but no snow. We have been waiting for snow so we can have a snow day. Yeah. Lisa was a snow day bad. She wants a day off. That's what it is. Spring says virus is super easy. Okay, good, good, good. Okay, my next trivia question for y'all. Let's see. How many cups of coffee hold up. How many cups of coffee are consumed each year in the world? And your choices are A, 900 million, B, 2 billion, C, 200 billion, or D, 400 billion. And again, the question is, how many cups of coffee are consumed each year in the world? And your choices are A, 900 million, B, 2 billion, C, 200 billion, or D, 400 billion. Okay. Lisa says, I think I went to bed at 9 p.m. last night. And Sarah says, come take our snow. We have 8-foot piles just on the side of the road. Whoa, that's a lot. And y'all, if y'all don't know, or I'm also reminding everybody too, my snow themed video is going to be February 28th. So if it snows in your area, get some pictures, or if y'all build a snowman, get some pictures, and make sure y'all send them to me by the end of day on February 27th, which is also my birthday. Oops, my stuff is falling. But yeah, get y'all snow pictures into me. And if y'all don't know already, on February 27th at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time, I will be doing a live birthday bash. So there's going to be lots of prizes that y'all can win. So I hope to see y'all there. Okay, Lisa says phone died on tablet now. It is 11 degrees Fahrenheit outside, and I made Snickers coffee, French roast dark, with Italian sweet creamer and a spoon of peanut butter. Ooh, that sounds good. And how do you make Snickers coffee? Because at first I thought you were referring to the coffee creamer, but then you said you used Italian sweet creamer. So I'm curious. How did you do Snickers? Okay, let's see. Samantha says D 400 billion. Crystal says I think I went to bed at 12:30 to 1 a.m. Lisa says 400 billion. So does the other Lisa, coping with yarn, and Sarah too. And Christy says 200 billion. And Spring says D, between just Sarah's house and mine. That's funny. And Crystal says 2 billion. Carol says 2 billion. And let's see, Brenda's also here. Hi, Brenda. How are you doing today? What are you currently working on? And what type of coffee do you have in your coffee cup? Or what are you drinking today? Spring says it was after 4 a.m. before I went to sleep. Ooh, that's late, Spring. I'd be a walking zombie. If I don't get much sleep, I do not function well. And let's see. Christy says I buy Snickers creamer, but my favorite is Southern Pecan. Lisa the Grammy says, "Oh, I forgot to add a couple of spoons of hot cocoa mix too." Ooh, your coffee's fancy. I like the sounds of your coffee. My coffee's already starting to get cold on me. But let's see. Okay, I think everybody pretty much has answered the question. So most of y'all got it correct. It was the biggest number. It was 400 billion. So yay! Okay, and there's one more trivia question, and then I'm going to start getting into my regular questions. Okay. The next trivia question asks, how did the term cup of joe originate? And your choices are, it refers to a Navy admiral who banned alcohol aboard Navy ships. B, it refers to Joe Folgers, a prominent purveyor of coffee. Or C, it's an Americanized version of the term cup of java. Or D, it comes from Jojo, the African word for bean. And again, this question is, how did the term cup of joe originate? And your choices are A, it refers to a Navy admiral who banned alcohol aboard Navy ships. B, it refers to Joe Folgers, a prominent purveyor of coffee. C, it's an Americanized version of the term cup of java. Or D, it comes from Jojo, the African word for bean. Let's see. Let me go back up on the comments. Sarah says, drink that coffee. Don't let it get cold unless it tastes good cold. I prefer it hot. And Brenda says, I'm feeling blah. I have Maxwell House coffee with milk and sugar. Also a water bottle, not working on anything. Oh, I hope you feel better, Brenda. Maybe the coffee will cheer you up. Okay, so let's see. Samantha says D. which is it comes from the African word for bean. Brenda says B, that it refers to Joe Folgers. And Crystal says B too. And Spring says, as much as I like A, I know that's wrong. But you know, there is a saying that always go with your first instinct. And Carol says D, that it's the African word for bean. And Lisa says, I used to go to a coffee shop, Lulu's Coffee and Bagel, and they made all kinds of coffee flavors. Yeah, Cafe Mosaic. Hold up. I don't know why this is coming unbalanced on me. Just a second. Sorry about that, y'all. Cafe Mosaic does all these specialty coffee blends. So it's like really cool. Like I think they have like s'mores that you can do. I'm trying to remember but there were a bunch of flavors. And Christy says D, which is the African word for bean. So does Sarah. Okay. Anyone else that's going to make a guess? Give it just a few more minutes and see if anyone else guesses before I reveal the answer. So are y'all liking the coffee trivia questions? See Allie. Say hi to everyone again. Lisa says A, and Spring's going with A, which is the Navy Admiral. And doesn't she look like the biggest little baby? And she doesn't look like she could be mean to Sophie like she does. Let's see. Christy says she loves them. Sharon says it's fun to learn. And Sarah says yes, liking the coffee questions. Lisa's going with the Navy one. Christy said just had to get my cat some more milk. Aww. Okay. Brenda likes the coffee questions too. And Lisa. Crystal likes my coffee cup. And the funny thing is, there's like a story behind this cup, which is why it's one of my favorite coffee cups. Because some friends of ours was helping us do some work to our house a few years back. And one of the guys had some pictures on his computer screen. And he had one of his coworkers starting to ask questions. And he was saying how, he was helping do stuff to our house because we live in an old house and our house needs a lot of work. But it's paid for. That's the good thing. Our house is paid for. So she donated some stuff to help out. And the irony is she had a friend that recently passed away, or it may have been a relative, and her name was Connie. And that she had this coffee cup that was from, the person that passed away. So she gave this coffee cup. So it kind of has a special meaning to me. Oh, Allie, you a mess. Okay, so the answer was A. It refers to a Navy admiral who banned alcohol aboard Navy ships. So that's why I said to Spring to trust her instinct. because she had it. And she was doubting herself. What about Allie? Yeah, get comfy. Okay. Let's see, where am I? Okay, I just noticed Sharon was saying C, though D sounds reasonable. And the funny thing is, I find all of them sounded reasonable. Well, the the Joe Folgers one, that one I kind of don't see as likely, but you know, but sometimes you never know with things. Let's see. Anita joined us. Hi, Anita. How are you doing today? What are you currently working on? And what type of coffee are you drinking, or are you drinking something else today? Spring says, of course, you would use that question, laughing out loud. Um, and I guess you're saying that because I was in the Navy too. But I like the question itself. And whenever I picked that question, I didn't even know what the answer was going to be until I started, writing everything down and finding, which one it was. But but yeah, the irony that it's Navy. Okay, let me get to my other question. Okay, now these are just basically my typical questions that I ask. If Allie lets me. Okay. Lately, it's been a juggle dealing with a cat while I'm live doing my videos, but they keep wanting to be with me when I'm live, and I think it's kind of funny because for the longest time you hardly saw my cats when I was live. Now all of a sudden they're like, "We want to go live with you. We want to go live with you." Okay. So my next question is, and like I said, this is a regular question. This isn't coffee trivia anymore. Would you rather vacation in Hawaii or Alaska, and why? I would go with Hawaii because it's tropical and I just think it's beautiful. And I've always wanted to go to Hawaii. And that was one place that if while I was in the Navy, I would have loved to have gotten stationed. But I did get to go to Diego Garcia, which was really tropical. And really, Diego Garcia was probably more beautiful than Hawaii, but at least very, very close to the same type of beauty. Now, the downfall to Diego Garcia was it was isolated, and especially whenever I was there, you didn't have the same type of things that you have in the United States and probably even other countries. Um, but now, I was looking at videos and stuff, and now I'm like, they got everything. I'm like, you could like grocery shop there now and like cook your own foods, and I mean, you can find most things. And I remember too in Diego Garcia, like if you were calling, you know, to the United States and stuff, it was expensive. It was like really expensive. But now it's like with internet and stuff like that, it's like everything's just so different. But yeah, I would go with Hawaii. Let's see. Christy says Hawaii. It's beautiful and warm. And Spring says Alaska, 100%. Interesting. Now, when my dad was in the Air Force, he was stationed in Alaska. But now, one interesting thing, like about back to Diego Garcia, like it was not cold there. It was basically warm weather year round, and you had a rainy season, but it never got cold. And Brenda says Hawaii, warm weather. She hates the cold. And Anita says, I'm good. How are you? Mellow yellow. Housework at the moment, so I'll be mostly listening. Neither because I ain't flying. I remember my first time flying, and it was to boot camp. And like after I got off the plane, it affected my hearing. And so I could hardly hear whenever they would be telling us to do things. And finally, like one of the times that we had to go to medical, I brought it up, and they told me that if it keeps doing it, give it a little more time, then to come back. And then fortunately, it finally went away, and I could hear normal again. But that was my first time flying. And then going to Diego Garcia, that was like a 34-hour or 36-hour flight. So that was a really long flight. We got Sandrine in the house. How are you doing today, Sandrine? What are you working on? Also, what do you have? What type of coffee do you have in your coffee cup, or are you drinking something else? And we also have Regina too. So same questions. And Spring says Kodiak, Alaska is in the middle of nowhere. So you want to be in the middle of nowhere? And Carol says, I would say Hawaii because I've never been, and I would love to see all the tropical flowers and eat all the wonderful food. Yeah, that is one thing, that is different when it comes to how like Diego Garcia was tropical. They didn't have the tropical flowers like Hawaii. So I do agree that would be beautiful. And Hawaii has some good food. So yeah. Got to get your eat on. Regina says coffee and working on my shawl. So what type of coffee are you drinking, Regina? And for those that just joined us, the question that I just asked was, would you rather vacation in Hawaii or Alaska, and why? Or if there's another place that you would prefer to vacation, let us know that too. Okay, let's move on to the next question. If you were a superhero, what powers would you have? Well, I would be like a superhero with yarn. And I would do kind of like Wonder Woman and use my yarn to lasso people in. So if I wanted someone to come see, I'd be like with my yarn and catch them. And let's see. Lisa says Hawaii for sure. Lisa the Grammy says Alaska. I lived there for 3 years. I loved it. Nice. Okay, Sarah's got to go. I hope you have a good day, Sarah. And don't get into any trouble. Be good, like Lisa with coping with yarn says. But she does it better than me. She has it like really close to how ET says it. Anita says her superpower would be healing. That's a good one. And let's see. Regina says breakfast blend, and I would love to go to Maine during the summertime. Ooh, nice. Carol says, oh, in that case, I would love to go back to Ireland. When I went before, I wasn't into fiber arts. So now I want to go back for the yarn. That's a good reason. Sarah says she has to be good. She has her job interview. That is true. You were mentioning that earlier. Well, good luck. I hope you get the job and let us know how it goes. And Sarah says otherwise definitely would be in trouble laughing out loud. Let's see. Carol says it was great being here, but I've got to go have a great day, everyone. You too, Carol. Have a fabulous day. And don't get into any trouble. The spring was said mine would be invisible. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. Okay. My cat don't want to leave my side. Lisa with coping with yarn says, I would say ouch and jealous people with my hook. I was just thinking of something. Oh, I don't know if y'all ever watched Jack Vale. Well, he's known for a certain type of video, but he does do some other things. And like I don't know, he'll do things where he says like odd things around people and you just like the reactions. And let's see. We have Frog Crochet here. Hi, Frog. How are you doing today? And what's your first name, Frog? And what are you currently working on? And what type of coffee are you drinking? Or are you drinking something else? And Christy says mine would be to twitch my nose and clean and organize my house. That is funny. I mean that is a good one. I was reading Lisa's comment at the same time. She says laughing out Connie, Jack. Yeah, Lisa knows who I'm referring to and what type of video he does. But like, I don't know, like Jack Vale though, he can do some creepy stuff though too. Like, I mean, if you think about it, if you ran into someone doing that to you, it would creep you out. And Lisa the Grammy says, I just emailed you a couple of pictures of my coffee cups, Connie. Ooh, nice. You know, that is an idea of a video I can do. Frank just says he thought of that last night. But I could do like a video where people can send pictures of like their favorite coffee cup or cups. And I could do a video with that. I like that idea. I'm gonna have to plot that out. Let me make sure I got your email though, real quick. Yeah, I have an email from you. Good, good, good. Okay. But yeah, a coffee cup theme video. Yeah. And another thing too, this is something that came up on my live last night. Someone was asking me if I called my subscriber Little Biscuits. And I was like, no, I've always referred to everyone as my Yorny friends. But I thought Little Biscuits was so cute. And then to this earlier today, someone said Yorny Biscuits for an idea. So I'm probably going to do a survey later on today on my community page with a few like possibilities of what I can call everybody and give an option for other too. So I'm curious like which ones y'all prefer. But I really like Little Biscuits. Okay, your name is Charity. Hi, Charity. Lisa says, I can't believe my autocorrect said jealous. I meant heel. I wondered. I was kind of like, I didn't see where jealous had to do with it. But yeah, autocorrect is bad for changing words. Lisa the Grammy says magic would be great for instant clean and organize. Yeah. Organize my spare bedroom so I can get to filming back there. Spring says, "Oh goodness, don't get me started with my mugs." Yeah, and Spring has some beautiful mugs because on Facebook, Spring always makes like a post like saying good morning with a coffee mug. But yeah, coffee mug video. And it was Charity. Yeah, Charity. Charity says, "I am working on a baby blanket, a graph blanket for my daughter, and a blanket for my son that he picks out the colors for it every 2 days. One of these days, I do want to make a graph gan. I actually bought the pattern, and it's for a popular pig character, and I think it's so cute. But I really don't know when I'm gonna get to it because I need to finish the two blankets that I've already started, and I've kind of gotten burnt out with blankets. So, like after I get those two blankets done, I'm probably not gonna work on a blanket for quite a while. But you never know. But I like the feeling of feeling like I get stuff completed faster. And let's see. Lisa says alien biscuits. And that is one thing because I do kind of, like one possibility would be something like I want something with aliens in it because y'all know I like aliens. But let's see. Brenda says Yorny aliens. Julie says my laundry and housework is out of control. I am working on a granny square Afghan. And Julie says I like Spring's mugs. Uh-huh. She has some nice ones. And I always love how she has and like her yarn or her project she's working on. And Anita says, I don't mind being called Little Biscuit. Everyone loves a good biscuit. Well, for those that don't know why the reference to biscuit, um, my husband Frank, he started getting the nickname the biscuit. So I tend to refer to him as the biscuit. And so then that's how like the little biscuits, idea came about. And let's see. Lisa says, or have a collage of our coffee mugs for coffee chat background. Yeah, that would be an idea too. That would be an idea. Or if I could do like a little intro video, maybe, where I could have that as a picture, which I did play around with on Restream with the videos because I wasn't sure, like if like say I get a super chat, if I could play my video if I'm from Restream because like it's like you have to have the paid for version to upload it to Restream, the videos, but you can play a video from your computer, and I have the video saved on my computer. But before I went live, I was kind of playing with that, and I found like the video, like it would play a portion and pause, and then it would start playing again and pause. So I don't know how well a video, the video would work because I worry that there'd be lags where like it's like trying to stream. But I can play with it and see what happens one day. But just be aware that it may do that. Let's see. Corrine is here. Am I saying your name right? Corrine Mino. How are you doing today? What are you working on? What do you have in your coffee? What type of coffee do you have in your coffee mug? Or what are you drinking today if you're not drinking coffee? Spring says, thank you. I have many mugs. And Charity is drinking vanilla frosted cinnamon bun coffee. I designed the graph myself. Ooh, that coffee sounds yummy. Ooh. And you're talented if you design a graph like that. Like I've done little small graphs for beanies, but never like a big graph. Oh yeah, how can I forget this? Julie is my husband's number one fan. And she's even friends with him on Facebook. Charity says, your cat is cute. Aw, thank you. And she says, we have a cat that is about 4 or 5 years old. She was dropped off at our house. Her name is Bandit. Aw. And that's one thing, too. I do need to do another pet video coming up. Because it's been a while since I've done a pet video. So that's another thing I need to figure out when I'm going to do a video like that. But yeah, with that, you can send pictures of your pets and I'll show everyone's pets in the video. And Corrine says, hello all, just trying to get motivated to get moving this morning. Get that Java going. Java will help wake you up. Okay, my next question is, what's your favorite zoo animal? And this is a hard one for me because I love so many of the zoo animals. So I really don't just have one favorite. I like the flamingos. I like the peacocks. And I've always like whenever I've been to the zoo, I always wanted to catch a peacock with its feathers open, but I never have gotten to see one do that like in person and get a picture of it. Um I like, what were you saying, Frank? No, 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 no. He's saying snakes. No, I do not like snakes. One time we were at the zoo and there was like one of the zoo workers was holding a snake and she would like let people hold it. Frank held it. And I'm like, get that thing away from me. But anyway, let's see. I like the monkeys. And one time we went to the zoo on the train and the monkeys were like swinging from the trees. I loved it. And I do like the seals and stuff. Like the sea lions. I'm trying to think of the other animals. I know there's others, and I don't know, maybe by some of y'all answers, I'll be like, oh yeah, that's another one of my favorites. Okay, let's see, where was I? In the chat. Okay, Crystal says, Tom knocked off one of my coffee cups yesterday in the garage. Oh, bad Tom. I was feeding them and he jumped up where I had my cup and coffee, went all over and broke my handle. I got it last year at Dollar General at the Valentine clearance, 90% off sale for 10 cents. Aw, Tom was being a bad boy. But that is a good deal you got on that cup. And I always love finding good deals. Because if I see like a cute coffee cup at a yard sale, I'll get it. Okay, Spring's gotta go. So I hope you have a fabulous day, Spring. And Spring also said elephant. Yeah, that's another one I like. At one time at the zoo, there was like a show, like had a little show with the elephant. And I thoroughly enjoyed the show. Okay, Lisa says she's only 5 away from 500. Woohoo, unless YouTube takes them away again. So if y'all don't have Lisa with Coping with Yarn, go check her out. Throw some yarn in her window. Give her that yarny love and support. And if one of my moderators could drop Lisa's link. And another one too, that if y'all don't have, please grab Crystal, the Yarny Chicken and Crazy Cat Lady, up too. She is getting very close to getting monetized. She has, I think she's at 900 now. Because I think it was last night she told me she reached 900. So she should just have about 100 left. But YouTube can take away a few, so she might need a little more than 100. And also, if y'all could help her with watch hours too. Last I know, she had about she had like 300 something left to go on her watch hours. So yeah, if y'all could help Crystal out, that would be amazing. And if you're a content creator and can help shout her out too, please do so, because I want to see Crystal get monetized soon, because we're YouTube besties. But yes, and if someone could drop Crystal's link too, that would be awesome. And let's see. Lisa says, just drink a whole pot of coffee, Corrine. That will do it. Yeah, take the pot, put a straw in it, and add whatever cream or sugar or whatever you use. Just stir that in there. You'll be set. Yes, Charity, White Tiger. Yeah, that is another beautiful one. My husband and I got a picture taken with a white tiger at the beach once. Oh, at the beach? Wow. So were y'all like actually by the tiger itself, or was it like behind some type of, like glass or cage or something? Lisa says, my son had a pet ball python. She was sweet. I would put her in my lap when we cleaned her glass cage. Couldn't do it. Snakes freak me out. And I know like some aren't dangerous, but I don't know. To me, like any snake I'm scared of. Anita says, I'd say gorilla after I went to the zoo in Louisville, Kentucky Zoo, that had them in such a small enclosure, and one of them just sat against the glass staring at me. I didn't want to leave. Aww. I remember one time when me and Frank went to the zoo, they had the orangutans and they were feeding them. And it was just like, I got some cute pictures of them eating. Crystal says, any big cats are my faves to see at the zoo. Yeah, like the kitties, the jaguars, sorry, leopards, tigers. And let's see. Okay, Crystal says she's at 901 as of now. Yeah, I agree with Lisa. Go, Crystal, go. Oh, congrats, Charity, for reaching 100 subscribers. Woohoo! And you know what? Well, I'm thinking of it. If I can write, let me write you down. I'm gonna shout you out on my next shout out video, which will be the second Thursday of the month. Because I do them once a month, and it's on the second Thursday. So let me add you while I think about it. Okay, frog, crochet. Stop it, Allie. Stop. Stop that. Come on, baby. Okay. Sorry, it's kind of hard to juggle with a cat on me. Okay, let me get back to my page with my questions. Oh, Gabby's here. Hi, Gabby. How are you doing today? And what are you currently working on? Lisa says she likes ostriches. Nice. And really, like, for the most part, I love seeing all the animals at the zoo. Okay, Crystal says she needs 326 watch hours till she reaches 4,000. So, yeah, let's try to help her with watch hours too. And we have Amanda in the house. Go, Amanda, go. How are you doing today, Amanda? What are you working on? And what type of coffee do you have in your coffee cup? Or are you drinking something else today? And Lisa says, especially at the drive through zoo where they put their heads in your car. Yeah, I've always wanted to go to one of them. There's one, I think, in Folsom, Louisiana, where I think you're on like a bus or something, and the animals come up to you, the giraffes, zebras, and they may have some other animals too that come up, but that would be nice. And Charity says the tiger was chained to a table and we were standing behind it with our hands on its back. They were feeding a bottle of milk until they took the picture. Aww. That reminds me of one time at the the we have like a crawfish cook off thing in our town, and they had a petting zoo and they had a baby cow, and like they were feeding the cow a baby bottle, and it was like, oh, so sweet. Let's see, everyone's saying hello. And Lisa says, go frog crochet, I will throw yarn in your window. And also someone could drop frog crochet's link in the chat. That would be awesome. And if y'all don't have frog crochet, go check her out, throw some yarn in her window, and show her some yarny love and support. And let's see. Gabby wants to know how many times she can run your playlist and it count. I'm not exactly sure, but I have heard some people say to clear your watch history, because I think like if you watch from a playlist and then you go back to that playlist again, I don't think it counts it the second time unless you clear your watch history. I know whenever I was working on getting the rest of my watch hours to get monetized, I would have people say they had been watching my playlist, but I also would notice sometimes like there were some days that like I hardly got any watch hours. And I suspected that YouTube didn't always count it when people were watching my playlist. So I would recommend deleting watch history to make sure it counts. Okay, and let's see. Okay, Charity says frog stands for fully relying on God. I was wondering what it stood for. Amanda says I haven't had my Mountain Dew yet. Crystal says up to 3 times, but there is a way to clear your watch history so it acts like you have watched it for the first time, but not sure how you do that. Um, I know it's somewhere in the settings because I did find how to, like how to do it, but I don't remember exactly offhand. I would have to play to figure it out again. Amanda says, still working on my scrap blanket. Awesome. Roberta's back for a minute. See, Roberta thinks every 24 hours. And that's the thing. Sometimes it's like you don't really completely know. It's like I think people like you kind of observe things and you suspect things with YouTube, but you never fully know what happens in YouTube world. Because that's kind of like how sometimes it seems like YouTube takes away subscribers. And you know, it seems to be if you don't like watch and comment on a video and like it, that it seems like it tends to get taken away more. But you never know what like why they take subscribers away. And like I know like Christmas in July, YouTube viewed those new subscribers as spammers. And like pretty much everyone lost the new subscribers that they got from that event. So I don't know, you and even with like notifications on YouTube, they're so glitchy because so many times people say I didn't get the notification for this. And even like a lot of times like whenever I get a comment, I sometimes I don't get the notification. But it's like if I go to my YouTube studio, I'll see the comment. Or like if I get like someone that new subscribed to my channel, I don't get the notification. Like I haven't gotten a notification for in a while for that, but yet you can see it like in YouTube Studio. So and you're like, I never got a notification this person subscribed to me, but they did. So I don't know. YouTube's crazy. Okay, Gabby got it cleared, and she has you running, Crystal. Amanda says, really tired of this cold weather. Yeah, I'm cold too, Amanda, and it's 53 degrees. Crystal says she's heard you can watch the same video up to 3 times before it does not give you watch hours anymore. I guess the same goes for a playlist. Yeah, probably so. But my advice is to delete your watch history whenever you're watching people's playlists. Oh, Brenda's running Crystal's playlist too. Okay, awesome. Yeah. Crystal said when subscribing to a new channel, watch one video in full, then like, then make a comment, then subscribe and hit the bell. The subscriptions should stick. And Anita just put Crystal's plastic canvas playlist on. I miss doing that. It's been years since I've worked with it. I never got into plastic canvas. Like my thing was always cross stitching whenever I was younger. And let's see. Charity says the baby blanket that I am working on is going to my local pregnancy center that our church is collecting donations for. Awesome. Amanda says it's in the 30s here. See, well, my computer at least says 53 degrees, but my computer isn't always accurate. So I don't know for sure. And Brenda says we went from 64 degrees yesterday to 18 degrees today. And Crystal says she made 2 of those wind twirlers, and one day it was so windy they broke on me, laughing out loud. I was like, all that work down the drain. Oh, yeah, that does suck. Crystal says it's like 38 degrees here. let me look up real quick. Let's see what they say. Oops, I went to the wrong thing. Okay. Yeah, it's saying 52 degrees whenever I Google it. So, but it says our high is 71 and our low is 42. And we're supposed to get rain. Okay. Lisa says it's now 22 in Oregon. Okay, my next question for y'all is, what's the tallest building you've been to the top of? For me, it would be the Sears Tower. At least I think it's the Sears Tower in Chicago, Illinois. Um, Now at least I was as high up as they would let you go. Because I know some buildings they don't let you go all the way up to the very top. But yeah, I went to the Sears Tower. Lisa says at least Southern Oregon. And Crystal says we were under a winter weather advisory. My mom says it is supposed to snow today. Laughing out loud. We will see. Oh, if it does snow, Crystal, you got to take some pictures. And let's see. Gabby says it's 34 here and ice in the trees. It's pretty, but I'm ready for some sun. And Lisa says, but it's sunny out where she is. And Charity says it's 41 here and raining. And Lisa says Space Needle in both Seattle and San Antonio, Texas. Corrine says St. Louis Arch. Now I know like whenever Frank was a truck driver and we would go through St. Louis, like that what do you call it? Okay, so it is the same thing.
I don't know. I wasn't thinking.
The St. Louis Arch. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's the same thing that we would always see whenever we would pass through St. Louis. Crystal says, I will if it does. Awesome. And make a snowman too, if you can. But I know in the South it's harder to make a snowman. Brenda says, we're supposed to have a snowstorm tomorrow. Yes, yes. All y'all people getting the snow, take some pictures from my snow video. I'll be doing that on the 28th. So that's just a few more days to get the pictures in. And I need the pictures by the end of the day on the 27th. That way I have it ready to go on the 28th when I make the video. Anita says, my feet like staying on the ground. I even have to go upstairs. I even hate going upstairs at home. One thing, like whenever I was in Great Lakes, Illinois, and like I was leaving the schoolhouse, and they had like this what you call it, why can't I think of the word? It's kind of like you know how like people with in wheelchairs, a ramp. That's it, ramp. So I don't know why I couldn't think of that word, but anyway, they had like this ramp, and we would leave the schoolhouse going down the ramp, and it was like snowing, and I slid down that ramp. I don't know how I didn't hurt myself, but I was fine. And let's see, I just got a super chat. Yay, thank you so much, Amanda. Woohoo. I'm going to try to play my super chat video. It may kind of like pause or lag because I was playing with it earlier and it did give me some issues, so we'll see what happens. It doesn't do as good in Restream. Like StreamYard, it plays fine, But let's see what happens. Let's see, how do I get to it again? Okay. Bear with me.
Hi everyone, this is the Biscuit. Thank you for sending Connie a super chat.
Okay. Thank you again, Amanda, for the super chat. But like I said, there was kind of like some delays. It seemed like it has trouble streaming the video. But we could always have the Biscuit say in person. Oh, he's busy. And let's see. Charity says, I am originally from Missouri, and I went up in the St. Louis Orch for my senior class trip. I didn't like it. You could feel the orch swaying. I was so glad to get back on the ground. Yeah, I didn't like that area in St. Louis because like the road, it seemed like it was like narrow and being in a rig, you always worry that like the trailer on the rig will sway over to the other lane. And let's see. Frank says he hated St. Louis. Gabby says, I don't like heights. So the tallest building I've been in is the hospital in Lexington, Kentucky. I think it has 8 floors. Wow. And let's see. Crystal says the tallest building she has been in is some of the big skyscrapers in Houston, Texas. Okay, so the next question I have is, let's see, is your glass half full or half empty? I like to think that my glass is half full. I always try to think positive, and and I find it's best to think positive. It just makes you feel better. Um, now the biscuits cup, I would say, is half empty. And that's one thing that sometimes it's like, because he can be negative at times and it drives me crazy. Because I'm always like, find the good in things. And Gabby says always half full. Lisa says half full unless I get paranoid and hypochondriac about health things. But yeah, sometimes I find like you gotta enjoy the simple things, little things. Brenda says half full. Now Allie, I think, can be half empty when Sophie comes around her. Poor Allie. But I do feel bad for Sophie. Like last night, Allie's in the bed and Sophie wants to come in the bed. And here's me and Frank like, oh no, this is going to be dangerous. So Sophie's like at the foot of the bed. Then later she goes like in front of the bed. But luckily there was no real cat fight. I mean, Allie hissed and growled some, but Amanda says half full. Lisa says my husband's the same way, Connie. Oops. Amanda says I'm with Lisa though. Yeah, poor Biscuit. Let's see. I'm curious what everyone else is going to say for their answer. You love that shoulder. And even when Allie was a little kitten, she loved being on my shoulder. And she would like just right in here and curl up. Yeah. And you like that bottle of pet milk that you used to drink, huh? Yeah, we had to bottle feed her when she was a baby. And then she grew up to be this cat. And let's see. Crystal says right now it is half empty, laughing out loud. Oh, I'm gonna have to cheer you up, Crystal, so we can make that glass half full. Get you another cup of coffee. That will help too. Oh, Allie. Oh, I don't think I told y'all this, but yesterday, Allie was quite talkative. She was just like meowing and meowing. You'd meow at her, she'd meow back. Charity says half full. Anita says always half full. Okay, you have a good day, Gabby. We'll make it a fabulous day. Okay, let's move on to the next question. What do you wish would come back into fashion? I would go with penny loafers. I always loved the penny loafers whenever I was a teenager. Um, and another thing that I liked too was how we would cuff our pants like in the early 90s. Because if you didn't hem your pants, it's like you just had to cuff them. You didn't have to worry about the hem. And I know like now there is like a cuff that is in style, but it's basically for the skinny jeans. But but I don't know. I like the cuff pants because you didn't have to worry about hemming. Hmm, I'm trying to think of some other popular styles, but that's all I can think of right now. Lisa says mine is empty. Do I dare have a second cup? I get really hyper and annoying. Perfect for a meeting I am about to have with supervisor laughing out loud. Well, if it's perfect, then have another cup. But if you can get in trouble with your supervisor, then I wouldn't advise it. Now Lisa says I wore those too. Yes, I love the penny loafers. I had them in like dark brown, black, and navy blue. Lisa says ugly sweaters, but not just at Christmas. Yeah, and you know what's funny? I like a lot of the Christmas sweaters. I mean, yeah, you do have those that really are, ugly, but I think a lot of them are really, really pretty. Brenda says pedal pushers, which is now capris. Yes, yes, yes. Poodle skirts. Even though, like, I wasn't around whenever they were in style, but I love the look of the poodle skirts. Lisa says her supervisor knows she's a weird. Brenda says saddle shoes. Frank says kilts. He wants to wear a skirt. But actually, I think the kilts are cool, though. I really like the kilts. Julie says tie-dye shirts. Anita says nothing because I could care less about fashion. I wear what I want. I wear what I want, where I want, just as long as I can get it. I can get it dirty. There was one year. Oh, I was in my slippers, and we decided to go get some fireworks. So I go there in my slippers, and at first, like I'm all embarrassed being in my slippers, but yet everyone was complimenting me on my slippers. So afterwards, I was like, okay, they like my Tweety Bird slippers. Lisa says, I just wear whatever makes me feel comfortable. Lisa says tie-dyes are back now. Well, at least here in Oregon. Yeah, and I have been seeing, stuff with the tie-dye. So I think it is coming back. Lisa says, I have never been in fashion. Wear what you want to.
Joker shirts.
Frank says the Joker t-shirts. I used to have one. Okay, let's move on to the next question, I guess. Okay. Oh, this is a good one. Are you related or distantly related to anyone famous? I don't know of anyone that I'm related to that's famous. How about you, Frank?
Local celebrities, other than that, no.
He said just local celebrities. But yeah, I am curious. Is anyone related to someone famous? Oh yeah, Brenda, I remember the stirrup pants. Or the jelly bean shoes. I remember those. Um, the hair being teased, the big bangs. Let's see. Let's see. Lisa says the jelly bean artist, something Rocha, my mom's second cousin. Interesting. Interesting. Okay. Anita says Sergeant York and Daniel Boone. Nice. Brenda says that is true. I, that is true. I remember you saying about Betty White. Brenda says yes, Jesse James and Betty White, and I just think that's awesome. Betty White, and I miss Betty. I wish she would have lived to reach 100. She was so close. Charity says I wear what is comfortable. Lisa the Grammy says I had to get more coffee. Coffee. Say hi to everyone again, Allie. Oh, oh no, ow, she's digging those claws in. She don't want to be moved. Yeah, she likes to dig those claws in. That's what makes Allie so dangerous because her little razors get you. Oh, yep. And we really need to trim her claws. But the thing is that it's hard to with her because she normally won't let you. Julie says Roger B. Shafi. He died in the Apollo mission with Virgil Grissom and Ed White. Nice. Let's see. Oh, I think I missed one. I think I missed Crystal's comment. She said Robert Morris, the one that signed the Declaration of Independence, he is way back in our family tree. We also had a few outlaws in our family. Brenda says Jesse James, the outlaw. Let's see if anyone else has any before moving on to the next question. Charity says, my husband is a distant relative to a Southern gospel singer. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Allie, you want to say hi to everyone again? She's like, no, I just want to sleep. And let's see. The next question I have for y'all is, what celebrity would you like to meet at a coffee shop for a cup of coffee? Or let me know if you've ever met anyone famous. So for me, the closest that I've like kind of met somebody was when I worked at a furniture store, and they had, and I can't think of his name offhand, the one that sings the Watermelon Crawl. He performed at the furniture store. But that's about the closest that I've gotten to meeting someone famous. But if I could choose a celebrity, I would go with John Travolta. And then we would dance at the coffee shop too. We would have to get a dance going. Sure, they could be deceased, Anita. But yeah, John Travolta. Who would you like to have coffee with that's famous, Frank? He's thinking. Crystal says, never met anyone famous. Frank says Mel Gibson. He'd like to have coffee with Mel Gibson. Let's see, give y'all a little more time here. Let's see. Anita says John Wayne. Nice. Lisa with Coping with Yarn says Jim Belushi lives 5 miles away from us. He grows his okay. I'm not going to get into that other poor. I don't think YouTube likes that topic. Lisa the Grammy says Keanu Reeves and Matt Smith. And Crystal says, I would have loved to have met Sean Connery. Frank's in the background going, ooh, yeah. He says that was a man back then. Brenda says, Sam from Outlander. Nice. Now, I would have loved to have met Johnny Depp like in his 21 Jump Street days. Oh, I know another one that I would love to meet. Patrick Dempsey McDreamy from Grey's Anatomy. Lisa says, I've seen Patrick Duffy at Costco. Ooh, interesting. and that is the same one that played in Dallas, right? I think that's his name. The one that Bobby Ewing. The one that played Bobby Ewing. I think his name's Patrick Duffy. Okay. We're going to be wrapping up shortly. I'm going to give it a little more time to see if anyone else responds to the question, and then I'll start wrapping up. But let's see. As y'all know, Sunday's my birthday bash at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. So I hope y'all make it to that live. And February 28th, I'll be doing the snow theme video. And let's see. I think those are the main things that are coming up. Oh, another thing too, I do want to do a live bingo. Like I said, I'll probably be like a little after the 13th of March, but I will be doing a live bingo coming up. So be on the lookout for whenever I do the video where I take, the bingo numbers on it and kind of just explain a few things of what's going to happen, how everything works with the bingo. Basically, like I did the last time that I did a bingo. But one thing is that even if you submit your numbers to me on the video, you need to be present right before the game starts, because I will be checking everyone off on my list. And when I go to start the game, if you're not there, and say you come in like halfway through the live or something, you won't be eligible to win the prize. You have to be there at the start of the game. And I have to, you have to be checked off on my list. And like I said, I'll verify the names on my list before I start the game, just to make sure I didn't miss anyone. Okay. So, okay, that is the same one. Okay. Crystal says, out of people still alive, Johnny Depp, Matt Smith, Peter Capaldi, David Tennant, Matthew McConaughey, plus many, many more. Now, I do find like Matthew McConaughey, there is just something about him that, like, I don't know, like, it's a good thing. That's I don't know how to really explain it, but there's just something about him that you're just like, Let's see. Lisa says, I have seen Kirstie Alley's old house going to Applegate Lake. She had a tennis court and everything. Awesome. Allie snoring. Julie says, as a cashier, I have met Chuck Norris, Loretta Lynn, Kid Rock, Hank Williams Jr., and Johnny Cash. Whoa, that's a lot of people. Wow. You have a good day too, Anita. Okay. So it looks like I'm caught up in the chat. But yeah. So that's basically stuff that's gonna be happening. And Lisa says she's never met anyone though. So anyway, if y'all aren't already subscribed to me, please subscribe to my channel. Please give this live a thumbs up. And please share this live on your social media platforms if you can. And I hope everyone has a fabulous Yorny day. Be the light and bye.